Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about sort of a general topic. I'm going to refer to something specific that happened in one of the books, the second book in the Hernandez series, Always Be a Wolf. I don't want to get too much into it. I started recording this and I thought, no, I don't really want to get too much into it. The specifics, the sort of the idea behind this video is I want to talk about how sometimes in books, and you see this in television shows too, and movies, we have to touch on topics that are difficult and people may have a hard time with. Now, in this particular book, this is the first two books in the series. Chase Jacobs is the protagonist. Of course, he's young, he's a little naive. At first anyway, he's a small town boy from Alberta. He didn't really have a lot of experiences with, definitely not with these kind of people. He was a little naive about stuff, and that's kind of why they like him at first. Anyway, not that they don't like him later. That's a whole other story. Anyways, I'm just saying he changes, and we'll leave it at that. But something in this particular book happens to his child, and it's very shocking and upsetting, and a lot of people I shouldn't say a lot. I had people comment on it. They weren't very comfortable with where the story took them. Unfortunately, it was something that just, I followed the natural sort of feeling where the story was going. And there were some points to be made within the story, which I thought were important. A lot of times what happens with authors, and to kind of get away from that specific topic and that specific book, a lot of times, there's topics that have to be brought up, and you see it in television shows also, as I've said, movies and whatever, that aren't exactly pleasant. And, depending on what you consider unpleasant, there's probably a lot of things I write about that's unpleasant. But the reality is that we have to write about what's actually going on and what we see in the world. And these are things that do happen. Unfortunately, even bad things happen. And I think it's really important that, even though it's a difficult topic, that you look into it. And sometimes you don't know who's reading. It could be somebody who's been through something similar, and there might be a connection or something that really helps them in some way. By reading about somebody going through the same thing, it doesn't mean it's going to resolve everything and make their lives perfect. It just means there's something there that they connect with, and people need that. People like that. People look for that and are drawn to books and shows that have that. There's something there. Now, I'm not going to go into the deep psychological reason for that. I don't know. Probably because I don't know. I have theories, but I think it's good sometimes. The point is, touchy subjects, I've talked about that before. Sometimes we have to kind of investigate them. I can't remember in my last video. I don't think I talked about this specifically when I talked about touchy subjects, but I think that was more general. And yeah. Now, having said that, if you're a writer and people complain and say, you probably should, that's fine. You just listen to them and you understand and just say, well, that's where the story took me, because that's usually the case. I don't think many writers say, oh, I'm gonna shock people and do. Sometimes the story goes a certain way, and I see it all the time. When I'm writing. I have no idea what the hell's going on, and then I'm writing about something. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is not what I thought was going to happen here. Anyway, yeah, so as I was saying, this book talked about that. I've covered other topics. I think that's probably the one that I really hear about. There's sometimes the violence a little too much. Sometimes something with a specific character may bother people or worry people. But at the end of the day, you gotta write what's true to you, true to your characters more than you. It's not really about you, I guess. It's about the characters. They take you on the ride. You just write down what they're telling you. Anyways, guys, thank you. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell to continue getting these videos. If you don't hit the bell, you might subscribe and never see one again unless you happen to go online. Anyways, thank you guys. Have a great day.